Everybody, it's your boy CJYonder back at again with another video. And today, I bring you a banger. Today is a video that not a lot of people expected, me included. And it's basically one of those videos that I made that was similar to the forgotten era of the Dragon Ball community, where it's just a bunch of my old videos combined to make basically a new video and added on details, right? So, I am going to go on a tangent for a little bit, but if you don't want to hear that tangent, here is the timestamp. Definitely go into the video and watch some great goodness, but here's some yap from me. So first, a lot of people are asking, why am I making this video? This video specifically. And my reply to it is probably going to be my only reply, is that it's going to be, this is taking the place of a placeholder video. The reason why I say that is because I've already teased in the Discord and a bunch of times, I'm working on a very big video right now with 57 pieces of evidence, with 5 interviews, with a bunch of backstory I gotta tell. It's taking a long time. And now, obviously, these kind of videos can indeed get done by Christmas. I want this out around Christmas time. Not by Christmas time, because, you know, it's normally a jolly season. And then when I'm like, hey guys, this guy is a bad guy. Nobody likes that. It brings down the mood. And I understand that. I'll probably put a poll being like, hey, should I drop this on Christmas? If it says yes, then I'll drop it on Christmas. If no, then I'll just keep it until Christmas. Or either I'll have it around Christmas, before or after. But I've been working on this video, and it's been taking a long time. And I haven't even gotten to the interviews yet. I still need to get to the interviews. So, it's, again, taking me a minute. So, to take care of that time, I want to post another video. And on top of that, I do want to mention the fact that I have made 2 mistakes. I started this big, serious talking where I am for some reason, Dragon Ball freedom advocate, and I'm like, hey, we are not showing enough respect to the community as we are, because there's a lot of people who aren't showing respect at all. So let me talk about those people and basically speak my piece on my own community, right? And that was good, but there were two mistakes I made. One was trying to balance a yap and gaming channel, and the other one was trying to, for some reason, and I can't tell you why, try to do 2 of these videos a week. What? That was crazy. And it's because I used to make content that would actually let me do 2 videos a week. However, these type of videos where I'm actually calling out people in the Dragon Ball community are going to take a minute. Therefore, from now on, I don't know if I've already mentioned it, but from now on, I'm going to change it to 2 videos a month. Basically, a video every 2 weeks. Which, while keeps you guys fed, also keeps me busy, and also allows me to do these more, because I have that time now. So I have the 2 weeks to drop a video, right? So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm dropping this video today, and then around Christmas time, I will drop my actual big video. And then that wraps up 2025. 2026 comes in, 2 more videos for that. Bang. Boom. You guys got what you want. I'm pretty sure that's it from what I have to say right now. Obviously, this video is going to have not just the video plus more, but it's just going to be the video plus what I could fix, because that's what these videos are basically for, just for me to fix things that I couldn't do the first time, and more content explaining what has happened in the future. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I love that you guys are here, and I think you guys are here. Enjoy the video. So, for people who don't know who BlackScape is, let me fill you in. BlackScape is really, I do not know how to explain his content. He kind of came off as this, like, dude who would just announce stuff and, like, just make fun videos where it would be, like, clips of stuff and him talking. Kind of like theory crafting videos where he's like, well, what did this happen with that? What does that happen with that? questioning Dragon Ball and all that kind of stuff. You know, not bad stuff. I would say not bad stuff. He also never was always BlackScape. Originally, he went by Dragon Ball Black. Creative name, I'll say that. But again, I'm no different. CJYonder isn't the best. But we ain't dissing on names. We dissing on content. So, what was this? Like I said, that was his content. What happened? Further down the line, remember, I used to watch these guys. This is another one of those old YouTubers that I used to watch. So, as one would, I wouldn't know what his content would turn into. His content kind of turned into more of those comic dub things. No, we are not talking about comic dubs that Prince Vegeta, Abridged Goku, Chi-Chi Smash, and all them kind of people doing. Actual comics like Dragon Ball Kakume, Dragon Ball Multiverse, those kind of ones that are actually trying to be like continuation of the Dragon Ball story, but a fan-made one. And he would read them off, give his opinion on them, you know. Nothing too bad. Then we started to dip our toes into a little bit of crazy stuff, I know, you know. Then it starts to, you know, get a little tipsy. Let's say that. Let's get a little tipsy. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna say it all right again. Gooner content. We're meeting another Gooner here, except for it's not all Gooner, all right? Being put on trial for not just Gooner content, all right? I'll get into that in a minute. He has stuff like Goku chooses to train Kale over Caulifla. Kale abandons Goku on Beerus' planet. Goku's confession to Kale. Goku and Kale's awkward moment. And you can tell that this is like fanfiction now. This is his, because it's called, the playlist is Dragon Ball BlackScape, Goku X Kale. Which, you know, kind of weird. It's shipping content. I'm not the biggest fan of shipping content now. But my complaint isn't the shipping content itself, but more what the thumbnails look like, and oh, these thumbnails are pretty bad. But it doesn't stop there. Goku Black Simp Girl. That's a thing I never think I'd said today. That's a thing I'd never think I'd say today. I think I need to wash to get some mouthwash. I think I need mouthwash, because that was a sentence I don't want to say anymore. This is an actual fan comic. But like the fact that like, he's doing it. That's a weird one. But you know, get your ban. Do what you need to do. But like these thumbnails names are. These thumbnail names give me the heebie-jeebies. I'll tell you that. Now, BlackScape does only false videos. Big clickbait false videos. Wrong videos. These videos are incorrect most of the time. And what do I mean by this? Well, let me tell you. Let me give you an example. This picture is why Dragon Ball Daima is trending. And it is a picture of Vegeta and Daima, except for it's fake. Daima leaks, fake. Vegeta isn't in Daima. Currently, from what we know, we're in episode 13. It ends in like 7 episodes. So we don't know, but from what this says, you'd think Vegeta is in Daima. And for what it says, in all caps, this picture is why Dragon Ball Daima is trending. Well, no. Vegeta isn't in Daima. And like I said, it's clickbait. I don't know if he says it in the video or not. It doesn't stop there. This announcement is why Vegeta is trending right now. It's the same thing. It's the same Vegeta thing. There's one that really just had me mad. It was something I really watched. It was this. Breaking news on 2025 Dragon Ball Super movie announced. Do you know what he said? He showed a picture of, it was Jump Fest, I think. And it was Toyotaro and that kind of group talking about what they have planned for 2025. Do you know what they say? You'll see. They basically say, you'll see. yeah, you'll see. How did that translate into, oh, we're getting a movie, guys. We're getting a movie, guys. We're getting a movie, guys. Let me announce something real quick. We already have stuff planned for Dragon Ball this year, so most likely it won't be a movie. A movie was a part of what could happen, but we already know what's going to happen this year. There could be more, but all we know is the Kakarot DLC, Xenoverse 2's third DLC. What else? We have all the Sparking Zero DLCs coming out this year, the finishing of Daima, and all that kind of stuff. The back of the Super manga. We don't have anything announced for the anime yet, besides Daima's 20th episode. So, and I think Daima's getting a season 2. So that was just talking out of nowhere, and that's all he does. That's all he does. Is either makes a thumbnail and it's like, oh, I had to click it because it's relevanting to the newest content. Like either talking about something that didn't happen in Daima, or talking about something that didn't happen in Sparking Zero, or talking about something that didn't happen in general. Or it's, like I said, it's Gooner content, where it's a woman from Dragon Ball, big honkers, all up in your face. And all you have to do is just let your primal urge take over and press the button, which is ridiculous. And I personally don't stand by either one, because either A, we're being represented bad by the clickbait stuff, or B, we're represented bad by Gooner content. Once more, we can't stand to watch your content anymore, because all you do is lie, deceive, and just give us Dragon Ball slop. You are another Dragon Ball slop creator, and you know it. Deep down inside, you know. And if you don't know, I want you to go on your desktop, look at your comment section in most of these videos that I already mentioned. Not the ones I said that were good, the ones that I said were bad. I want you to tell me what is being said. And genuinely read the comments. Some of them are just constructive criticism, and then some of them are just hating. But I want you to read those comments, and I want you to sit there and process them, alright? I'm not telling you to respond to them. I'm not telling you to engage with them. But process them. Be like, use them. If it's giving constructive criticism and telling you what you need to do better, use that. This is a good constructive criticism video, because I'm telling you that going back to that fan dub stuff is what you should be doing, because it actually not only makes your brand better. I mean, who is it? Unreal Ent Gaming. He's really good because he does that fan dub narration stuff. He gets good views. He is a good YouTuber, Dragon Ball YouTuber. Yes, I haven't heard from him in a while, but he did that kind of stuff, got lots of views, and he was making bank. Bank doesn't always have to come from Dragon Ball slop. And this is an announcement to everybody. That stuff doesn't have to come from Dragon Ball slop. It can come from genuine content. I genuinely feel like I need to get both of these videos off my chest and more down the road. Things like this. I feel like I need to get these off my chest, and when I do, people like them. My Yonder Yap sessions, even though they don't get a lot of views, people still engage with them. People still like them. People still want to watch them. Why? Because it's coming from the bottom of my heart. It's coming from a place where I find passion, I find confidence, and I find concern. My gaming with friends, that's another one. I find passion in that. I love posting videos when I'm hanging out with friends, or when I'm just starting a new series, or when I'm just playing a game that I love, or when I'm giving constructive criticism on people who need the criticism, who represent me but won't represent me right. So to BlackScape, please fix your content, or if you just want to talk, have a debate, I'm fine with that. For the viewer, take an open mind when it comes to Dragon Ball content. Don't fall for any AI slop or Dragon Ball slop. That's my main purpose here, is to talk about those just so we can get them out the way, but don't be a fool. Know your worth and watch videos like Salad Saiyan, like Karthu's Dojo, DBS Hype. Those are people who you can trust. Me, I am a person that you can trust, not only with your with your entertainment, but with your Dragon Ball info. So please, know what you're looking for and find that. Don't settle for Dragon Ball slop. Look for entertainment, but look for what you want. Like I said, don't fall for these Dragon Ball slop videos that you know are either made with AI or just them brainlessly typing on their computer while they're drinking coffee with the bands in their hand. Syriacs, Dodoya, Rhyme Style, people like that. Nanogenics, The Truth DT, Iron Mouse. Like I said before, Salad Saiyan, Karthu's Dojo, DBS Hype. Like I said, know your worth and find your worth. Find a Dragon Ball content creator, either if it's me or it's one of the people that I just named off. Find your worth, find someone who's worth your time, and watch them. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and like I said, if we got to the end of the video and I earned your subscription, I'm thankful for that. We hit 437 just by one video, which is amazing, and I thank you for that. But without further ado, I have to end this video. Follow me on Twitch. I'm always streaming when I can. Join the Discord. I like to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. The first update of the video, and I would love to show you guys the fact that after my first initial video on BlackScape, nothing changed. Nothing. Not one bit. And the reason why I say that is because when you go on the channel now, actually it got worse. I want to say it got worse. When you go on the channel now, you see this. And I bet you're wondering, hey CJYonder, what the hell is this supposed to be? Well, I mean, obviously it's still going back to his clickbait roots, because like the big lettering, the weird titles, and it's like, oh, okay, so what are the pictures? The pictures are AI generated. Woo! Woo! We set another low! Yay! We did it! Yeah, baby! That's what we've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! We did another low! We now support AI content! Woo! Like, come on now, dude. That's just pathetic. That's actually just something to laugh at. And I'll probably go into it in a deeper video. But that's just the update I want to give for BlackScape. Just so I can, you know, add an update to see what's been going on since, what, February when I actually dropped this video? But yeah, on to the next segment. So, Xenocoffee is someone that we haven't really talked about. Or this sphere we haven't talked about. We talked about Ebullience, who is just kind of like the short slop creator. We've talked about BlackScape, who was the story time creator. We talked about Prince Vegeta, who was a voice acting creator. The closest we're gonna get to this is probably, you could say, either CellForeskin or Perfection, because while CellForeskin was another one of the voice acting creators, but a modern day voice acting creator versus what Prince Vegeta was, Perfection is more what we're talking about, because Perfection was in the Dragon Ball Xenoverse category, and CellForeskin was a part of the Legends community, to a degree. So, when you found out who CellForeskin was, you were a part of the Legends community, because that's where the news normally spawned from. And same thing, nah, not really same thing with Perfection. Perfection news would just spread out like wildfire. But anyways, to explain that, we're talking about the gaming part of Dragon Ball, and the Dragon Ball community itself. Oh, alright. So the reason why I mention that is because it's kind of a new sphere, and it's a different sphere of people. Because Then you're talking about like people like Slow Plays, who we're talking about today is Xenocoffee, and all that kind of big stuff. So they're not the normal like set of rules. You have to kind of tweak it a little bit, right? So that's why, because I haven't heard anybody except for like I said, Perfection and CellForeskin to be really cost of as a expose more than just rant videos, because a lot of these people just piss me off. And when someone pisses you off, the first thing you gotta do is, when you have a fan base, put them on paper. Anyways, let's get into it. So the reason why I don't like Xenocoffee, and there's a reason why a lot of people I know don't like Xenocoffee, is all he does is bitch. All he does is kind of bitch. So let me explain. So he is a Xenoverse 2 creator. And he is a modder. He is an actual modder. So he actually contributes to the game way more than a lot of the creators that I know. So when you hear Xenocoffee and you hear him talk about Xenoverse, you either have one of two things. Either he's talking about something in the game, or he's talking about his own mods. When he's talking about something in the game, and I don't know if it's very recently or not, but all he has been doing is complaining about Xenoverse's DLCs. Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. The DLCs are kind of crazy. Mind you, you're wanting me to spend $7 to $10 on something that should have already been $5. You're wanting me to spend like $7 to $10 on something that should already been in the base game? Fuck you. Really. But all in all, taking it neither here nor there, base game or not, they're still in the game. They're also pretty cheap. I have seen DLCs go on for way more. So as a consumer, I cannot complain. I cannot complain. Because I know exactly when they pull out that DLC, I'm gonna buy it. And that's exactly what he does. He complains about it, and then he buys the DLC. And then he talks about it. Huh? Yeah. And specifically, the Future Pack DLCs, he has made not one, not two, but almost 9 videos on them. Why? I have zero idea. I really don't. Because it really just gets annoying when you say it the second time. It gets annoying when you say it the second time. Not the third time, not the fourth time, not the fifth time. You say it the first time, you're like, yeah. You say it the second time, yeah. You say it the third time, okay. We get it, man. We get it, man. You don't like the DLC. Like, fuck Xenoverse 2, right? This guy just makes negative fucking content. It's all negative content. And what I mean by the 9 videos on the one DLC, he has it in a playlist, I think, where he just talks about fucking, is it this? The Future Saga Rant series, yes. He has, do not buy Future Saga Chapter 3. Fixing Xenoverse Future Saga. Future Saga ruins Xenoverse. Future Saga is killing Xenoverse. Future Saga Chapter 2 sucks. And I understand, like, yeah, Future Saga Chapter 2 did really suck. You needed to make 5 videos on it? Fuck, dude. It's the picture of the milk, of like it's the picture of the cow who's like already milked out, and then the farmer's like, rise and shine. That's how he is with Xenoverse 2, bro. It don't need to be that much. 5 videos on one DLC. 1 to 2 DLC, because all he talks about is Future Saga Chapter 2 and Future Saga Chapter 3. That's all he does. And he didn't even talk about Chapter 3. He just predicts 3's gonna suck, which it really didn't. It gave us a new mechanic, a new mechanic, a new stage. It gave us 2 new characters, one that we've been wanting for, and one that is really good. Now, yes, Broly's voice is dick and balls. Taking that out of the equation, it's a good DLC. It's really good DLC, in my opinion. IMO, you know? All he is just a negative Nancy. All he does is complain. And it's funny hearing that from the guy who's complaining about the complainer, but, like, complaining is my job. My whole stick is to complain about people who I think either scummy or just dicks. All he really does is be just a fucking negative Nancy. I showed you right there where he's complaining about 2 different DLCs. That one wasn't even out when he was complaining about it, and the other one has been out for a decent amount of time, and he made 4 videos on it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For no reason. Like I said, the second one, pretty dick. It was pretty dick. Yeah, it gave us 3 characters, and one of the characters was just basically recycled. But did you need to make 4 videos on it? And I am the complaining guy, so it's kind of hypocritical of me saying, stop fucking complaining. Coming from the complaining. But my job is to complain about bad or weird people. Your job is to mod and review things, not complain for 5 videos straight about 1 game, 1 DLC. And on top of that, take out the DLC, all he does now is complain. He complains about Future Saga Chapter 3. Kind of. He complains about Future Saga Chapter 2. He complains about Sparking Zero. He complains about anything. But the funniest thing is that you never heard the fucker complain about Breakers, the actual dog shit game. Besides the one video he made where it's called How to Revive Breakers, you have to scroll very far down to find a video where he's shitting on Breakers, which is crazy. It's really crazy to me, because he used to just make mod content where he mods in Mecha Frieza, he mods in the characters from Jump Force since they were in the Dragon Ball style, Bojack, Sage Mode Goku, Super Buu Gotenk, you know, all that kind of good stuff. You come up here and then he starts saying Sparking Zero could kill Xenoverse 2, and it's basically making that kind of commentary videos. But then, like, Future Saga Chapter 2 sucks. Future Saga's killing Xenoverse. Future Saga ruins Xenoverse. Fixing Xenoverse. Future Saga. Don't buy Chapter 3. And then you go a little bit farther up, and then he goes back to talking about Future Saga Chapter 3, the worst DLCs. And then puts Superhero in there for no reason. Oh yeah, and there's also Future Saga Chapter 1 and 2, which everyone's gonna agree 2 should be in there. I feel like the one with Frost should be in there as well. What the fuck did Rose do? Rose from Chapter 1 was probably one of the best DLCs we've gotten in a while. Give us a really good story. It gave us really good cutscenes. It gave us, what, 5 new characters, including DBS Videl, DBS Android 18. We had Base Broly, Vegeta, and Goku Black. And when you look at it from a hindsight, nobody's going to want Videl in 18. But the other 3, people loved. Broly had probably one of the biggest, like, damage outputs in the game, besides his newest counterpart that just came out a couple weeks ago. But anyways, oh, and then above that, the problem with Sparking Zero. You put on top of that the new DLC, the newest Diamond DLC, my thoughts, and he made a kind of like a video reflection, because now he had the best Xenoverse 2 DLCs, which put Champa in there. Okay, and then he goes back to being negative. Dimps is scamming us. Sparking Zero DLC is a scam. Bandai is killing Xenoverse 2. dude. Daima's DLC looking bad. Daima DLC, Daima packs suck? And then you go up the worst event in Xenoverse 2. Gyms canceled custom partners, which I highly doubt they did. What killed Sparking Zero? I don't think you really need to make a video on that. I think everyone knew that one. Anyways. Just, overall, he's just a negative guy. And it kind of just, from what I've heard, it just makes people pissed, right? People do not like the negative stuff. And obviously he pulls some in views, so he's never gonna stop. But you don't need to be... My big thing is that you don't need to be negative all the time. You really don't need to be negative all the time. That doesn't need to be your point of conversation, is that your highest doing videos are just really fucking negative ones. And now obviously negativity rules the world. To be good on the internet, you have to be negative. Fuck. My Prince Vegeta video has 11k views. 11k videos? My Prince Vegeta video has 11k views. However, it's a double-edged sword. It is negative in the way of I'm talking about something that should not be talked about, right? But it is positive because I am calling out people who need to be fixed for the Dragon Ball community to be a kind of more accepting light, instead of just a trash can of what it's supposed to be. And these kind of videos just kind of bring it down. Negative. You could be a commentary creator if only you made positive content. And I understand he made the best DLCs, and that wasn't as successful as the worst DLCs, since the worst DLCs hit 57k views, and the other one hit 23, but they still had 23 views. You can be good and get good money from doing positive content than doing negative. I want to start doing positive content. I'm going to soon. I feel like, Gamer Goku is like my best shot, because he was so good in his voice that he thought he made Sean Schimmel think that he was faking and using AI. Crazy, right? Alright, this seems to be update 2, so let's get right into it. For Xenocoffee, there's not really an update to give, more than there is just stuff that I missed initially. For the stuff that I missed initially, I did miss the fact that he was very political. Now, mind you, that was intentional, because I am not a political person and I don't want to get into politics. So, me doing that was for a reason. I do not like bringing up politics in my videos. When I mentioned Charlie Kirk assassination, that one video, and I actually mentioned Xenocoffee in that video, I was not a fan of making that video, not just because of stuff like, oh, it's a death, it's this, and that, but the fact that it's politics and it just thrives off of hatred. When you bring up politics, you have to hate the other side, and if you don't hate the other side, then your side is gonna hate you. All politics does is bring people away from each other than together. So that's my big point from it. I just don't like politics in general. Some people do, and that's your own sauce. But yeah, Xenocoffee has been known to do a lot of scummy ass stuff when it comes to politics. Like when Kirk died, and the reason why I mentioned him in the video was because he said, oh, I'm sorry, did the bully get hurt? Which was super fucked up, right? Super fucked up. He deleted the tweet, obviously, because nobody's gonna like that tweet, except for like the 12 people that actually thought he was Hitler for some reason. But yeah, I feel like that tweet was not just a politically wrong statement because the dude died, and you should be, I don't know, like, not crying for it, because obviously either you don't know the guy or you really didn't like the guy. But you should at least feel sad for his own family, because his own family is the real ones who got impacted and not you. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of politics, but that was the update for Xenocoffee. Let's go on to the next. Who is CellForeskin, you may ask? CellForeskin was somebody who's big in the Dragon Ball community. I think he posted on TikTok or something like that, YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And he was caught being a neo-Kratzy, a neo-Kanye, basically. A PDF file. And basically anything under the sun that was ist or ism. And it's kind of crazy. It is not kind of crazy. It is really crazy. Because this guy is doing numbers, bro. Numbers. First, I want to show you a couple pictures. It's weird. So here's a list of what CellForeskin has done. And stick with me here, because this is a long list. Groom the 14-year-old is a neo-Nazi. Said the hard R multiple times. Has said deplorable things about sexuality, usually things about homosexuals. Talked about grape, specifically for someone named Asuka Langley. Don't know who that is. Made very controversial people become his moderators in the server. One even sent corn of a minor, so CP. That can get crazy. Let's see here. Told people to kill themselves. Obviously said worse. Multiple times. Has made multiple grape jokes. Is confirmed as a CP apologist. I said before that he is a Adolf Hitler supporter. Confirmed by a few people. And that he follows Nazi accounts. Possesses CP. Possesses CP of GT Pan, sent CP to a server full of minors, fictional form, but that's still not good. That nowhere close, just has a +5. Talked about torturing Jewish babies, lied about his age, used his age as an excuse for his actions, and then lied to everyone about everything above. This might be better than perfection. Might look like a saint to this guy. Oh my goodness. Dude! So here's stuff for grooming. It says right here, this document page is fairly recent. October 8th, 2025 is the first instance we have of this man grooming. Oh my god! October 8th. Let me read it out for you. And as I read it out for you, obviously it's going to be on the screen. He, Cell, told you to look at links, right? Obviously for Rule 34. Yes. He sent me a Rule 34 link once, bro. Yeah, I seen that. I'm going to blur your name because I feel really horrible and disgusted and I don't want you to be found at all. Him telling you that, it's manipulation and a form of grooming. I hope these questions are not disrespectful, but they are very important. Has he been sending you a lot of disgusting photos? I don't know, he used to randomly send me Rule 34 and then delete it, but I don't quite remember how frequent it was. Okay, before we get into that, actually, I think I should talk about the definition of grooming. Because nowadays, grooming has actually been thrown off its course, and we need to, kind of bring it back on. Grooming is when we're not talking about hair, is when you get somebody at a younger age and you get them to do things or think a certain way to when they get older, they think that is the norm, so you don't look as bad. Obviously, and this is obviously a correct stance of grooming, because they are talking about instances to where this CellForeskin guy, fucking CellForeskin dude, is talking about sending him pornographic videos while they are, I'm going to get a shot in the dark because the person who made this is 15, sending them CP and pornographic videos of a minor, probably younger than him, saying stuff like, oh, well, this might be me and you and that kind of stuff. Like basically, remember Lord Frieza, when I told you about him trying to get with that one girl and then saying, I'm going to threaten to kill your kid? That's how that feels like, the beginning half. Where you're just trying to talk sexually, trying to get them in the mood via getting that links in there, those porn pictures. And that is what shuts this down. That what makes this a groom case, because this person is younger than him. They're trying to make it feel like that's a normal thing. As the person says here, I don't know, he used to randomly send it to me. How the victim describes the situation, they try to describe it as it is a normal occurrence, or like something that isn't as a big of a deal as it should be. Therefore, the grooming has worked, because they are talking like it was a normal thing. They're talking as it wasn't that such of a big of a deal, when it was. The person, the Muhammad guy who is talking to them, had to specify that this is grooming. This is grooming. Right. So, also he called me mama once, for some reason. I don't, oh my god. Also, he called me mama once, for some reason. I don't know, I just thought that it was weird. I'm scrolling up on our chat right now because I forgot a lot of stuff. So, that was the end of the grooming case. My big point is like, bro, what is the point in grooming? You are, of course your name is CellForeskin. You're not gonna be able to get women, bro. Look at you, bruh. Your name is CellForeskin47. You are on Discord 24/7. Ooh, bars. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Sorry about that. I had to hit some bars. But, like, your name is CellForeskin47, and you're on Discord all the fucking time. Of course you're gonna be a loser who can't get a girlfriend. Doy, it's fucking common knowledge. I don't even know why I asked. Why do you, like, but that's what my question is. Why do you even want to groom? What puts somebody in a state of mind where it's like, yeah, is that a little kid? Oh yeah, that's my daughter. She's about 4. Yeah. Can she do the splits? What? Like, bro. No! 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 Don't do that. For the love of God, don't do that. Anyone watching this video, do not take tips from this guy. You will not get women. If you do, they are 5 and they like lollipops. Okay? Don't do that. And not your lollipop. Yeah, the Tootsie Pop. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Pop? That's what you're liking. Do not do that. Please. I preach. Do not do that. Please, bro. Please. Anyways. Now we're on to the threats page. Dude, so used to randomly say some concerning shit and stop responding, or like say, I'm gonna kill myself, bro. And then come back like 10 minutes later. And I would be panicking. He got me mad once because I spam called him after he said something like that. But what was I supposed to do? Oh, here's the actual images. No, don't die! Don't fucking say that. Oh, he said don't sleep please. And he's like, don't fucking say that. I have to talk to them. I have to talk to him like he's a fucking Discord mod. I'm sorry. I can like hear the neckbeard a mile away. Don't fucking say that. I'm gonna fucking kill myself if you say that again. And then they say, one time I called Cell a bitch as a joke, and he was like, did you just call me a bitch? And I edited it, and I said, no, you're schizophrenic. And then he set a timer for 24 hours and said he was gonna ghost me and told me to reflect on what I did, and he didn't talk to me for the whole day the next day, and I was begging him to come back, and I told him I was gonna cry, and he was saying, cry if that's what it takes to learn. So that wasn't very nice. And like, I didn't do anything when he was mean to me. Like, he called me an F-slur before, and I didn't do anything about it. This guy is a walking, like, had to be grooming. I'm telling you right now, it had to be grooming. What do you mean you're like, I'm gonna set a 24-hour timer, and I'm going to put you in timeout because you called me a bitch? What? What? Bro. 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 That is crazy to me. That is really crazy to me. Mainly because, like, he is acting like this girl's fucking dad, dude. She's acting like her dad. He's like, if you call me a bitch, you're going to go inside. Why am I trying to give him a mafia accent? If you sound like a bitch, you're gonna go in timeout. You're gonna go in timeout. Like, bro, you're so fucking weird. Oh, this is pissing me off. The next thing that we talk about is unwanted sexual talk and lore. Let's get into it. The first picture says, I found a picture of Asuka giving Shinji a blow. It's so fire. And the victim's like, what? We need to match Asuka and Shinji. Oh. Yep, there's the grooming part. Do you want to link so you can goon? Do you want the link so you can goon? Where do you find this stuff, twin? No thanks, I'm not a gooner. Genuinely drops the link. Wow. I can't even fucking joke about that, dude. That is genuinely unwanted. No thanks, I'm not a gooner. Drops the link. That's like saying, you want to see my boobs? No thanks. I don't fall in the lust. I'm a Christian guy. As she reveals her fucking shirt, like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? No means no and stop means stop. Prime example. This guy never knew what no means, and she said no, and he still dropped porn to her. Gango sauce. Or I'll goon to you. I'm gooning to you. Twerk in a what the fuck? Twerk in a Monica costume, and you'll get your proof. What? I'm not doing that. Yeah, I don't fucking blame you for not doing that. If you twerk as Monica from the kill game, I'm going to give you proof of fucking what? Yeah, that's context that I don't know. That's context I want to know. I'm curious. There are pictures, though, in this bunch, right, I think here, that says, Freako. What? It's fine, because I'm 16, not a ditty-ass freaker like you. But you, bitch, ass, freaker, mother freaker. No, I'm black freaker. Freaker? What do you mean? Freaker? What you mean lies? Are you freaking stupid? That's my mother. All in like the same time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hard R's in, I'm gonna say 3 minutes, 2 minutes maybe. His name changed to Arist Foreskin47. Okay. I love 14-year-olds. Of course you do, buddy. We know. Of course they left the context out. Hey, buddy, what context do you need? Oh, yeah, well, obviously they're gonna make me look like a bad guy. The context is out, even though I'm sending actual CP of little girls. Around the ages of 8 to 14. But yeah, I'm the bad guy. You are the bad guy. You're the fucking bad guy. That's not even half as bad as the CP is. Not CP because it's a drawing and the character is aged up always. Plus, they don't exist. That has to be the most bullshit excuse that I've heard for CP or lolly uses on the internet. If you think that it is okay to beat your snickling to a female, specifically, if you're gonna jerkatron, that's you, bro. But if you're gonna do it to a underage woman that is not aged up, or is quote-unquote aged up, you are still very fucking weird for that. Because aged up or not, that's still weird. Because you know in the back of your mind, and maybe even in the front of your mind, if you're putting those gigolos in front of your face and then you're putting to the tag, they are underaged, but they are quote-unquote aged up. What? This one says, people can't help that they're gay, though. And then he just says, hanging can help. Tried to make a command to grape a dude with a Chinese name, I think. No, that's Japanese. Never mind, that's Japanese. Oh, I'm crazy. Okay. I will kill all Jewish babies. Yay, I like to torture Jewish babies. Here's one. I used to smash babies all the time like this. Now I just goon the mustard. For CellForeskin, I actually have a couple stuff to say about this. For starters, CellForeskin did actually make a quote-unquote apology. You want to know what the issue with the apology was? It was dog ass, and it did not clear up any points at all. He basically, instead of taking accountability, says, yeah, those things happened. That's it. He just said that things happened. He never really apologized. And there was no, I'm sorry, I apologize. This is not in the actual apology, and I'll show it up on screen. He just tried to bullshit his way out of it, like an immature teen. Which is what he is, but I mean, if you're going to try to diddle him with little girls, then that's your fault, not anyone else's. Anyways, the other part I have to add to this is the fact that Broly Time's edition, and I'm only bringing this up in this version because if you watch the original video, Broly Time is in the video. I took him out. The reason why I took him out is because the same reason of why the apology sucks, except for Broly Time actually has a viable option. Let me explain. Broly Time is, I'm pretty sure a year under me, maybe 16, 15, 17, around there, right? I have him in my server, I should know. He's one of my actors. The biggest issue with him wasn't the fact that, like, CellForeskin was a racist pedophile, or I wouldn't say pedophile, but he was like a racist groomer, kind of. Where he was, like, sending corn to little girls and that type of shit, and it was weird. It was weird. But Broly Time was just being a sarcastic dick during a really bad time. Really bad time. And I thought that was like, hey, are you just admitting the shit at this point? He was being sarcastic, but he was like super young at the time and he did not know what he was saying. Now, obviously, that will never excuse the action that you will say. If they're like, okay, so you are this and that, and you're like, yep. Even if you're being sarcastic and you have kind of a right to be sarcastic because it's the freedom of speech, you are still being sarcastic. Therefore, punishment still should be enforced. But he didn't know. He's like, I was in shock over the dude being an actual groomer and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I would be too. But the actions you said were not good. Now, I was able to talk to him at the time, and I was actually able to get him to apologize. This wasn't like CellForeskin's apology. He actually did fully apologize. Said, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I was acting dumb, I won't do it again. That is basically what I want the video to come out to be. To end in a resolution. And that is actually a resolution. One of the second times I've actually had a resolution. The first time was a resolution, but it was a terrible resolution because that shit went back to normal. Ebullience. Speaking of Ebullience, click it. Well, Ebullience, used to be known as Ebullience Engine, was a sprites YouTuber. Crazy. If you know him now, you would not think that, but actually, he used to be a sprites YouTuber. He used to make videos like Goku versus Sonic, Goku versus Vegeta, Goku versus Jiren, What Ifs, Goku versus Mario, Shadow versus Vegeta, Shattuck versus Vegeta, all that kind of stuff. Basically, just having what if battles on what if Shadow fought Vegeta, it's kind of self-explanatory in the title. He would make these, they would get decent views. 860k, 175k, they're not bad. He made a channel intro, Beerus versus Thanos, all that kind of stuff. And he also had a couple other things going on, like Sonic Dark Forces, with the exact thing with these what if videos. He had Dragon Ball Double E. It was going good. It was actually going very swell. Something hit a turn, though. See, somewhere around the 11th month mark of where his channel was, he would switch it up. He would change to YouTube Shorts. If you're gonna strike gold on YouTube, you're gonna hit YouTube Shorts. Everyone's gonna hit YouTube Shorts one time or another if you're trying to get big on YouTube. So that's what he would do. Show off him doing filters, show off Dragon Ball Legends content, and he would go into like the more smug stick, Salad Saiyan, Karsu Dojo kind of style where it's, oh, what is this? What is that? Look at this detail. Look at that detail. And basically that would go on as that was a trend because that would get big views. 19K, 10K, 10K, 347K, you know, all the sorts. You would do that until one video that hit 15K that seemed to do really good. However, it would just straight up be Gooner bait. Yeah, no, we're getting back into this. And then the next one, 796K Gooner bait. And then after that, it would be normal videos. But then he's tried to strike gold once more, 539K. And then it kept going. 1.7 mil, 1.5 mil, 263K, 432K. And it goes on and on and on. Now, mind you, my biggest issue with it is just the fact that these are crazy thumbnails. I mean, for example, let me show you this thumbnail. Cannon? And it's just Krillin and 17 making out. What? Edging? What? Cannon? Why is she don't need to be pregnant like that. And there's more. There's too much more. There's Rouge. She don't need to be like that. There's, what else is there? There's a lot. I'm looking at it right now. There's a lot. There's Bad AF and it's Sue. There's this weird Kirby. Weird animation of the Transformer. It says Solo Dragon Ball. Nope, my dead body, I'd believe that. Then there's Pocket Dimension, Santa Claus. I don't even know what that means. That's an outlier. Is that anti-spiral juiced up like that? No, man. No. Now, recently he started taking a turn. Would I say for the better? I don't know. I think it's still clickbait. It's still very much clickbait, but in all honesty, it is at least not as bad as you think it'd be. His content has slowly started to change from the sprite animations to basically the filter stuff, and the filter stuff to the Gooner stuff, and the Gooner stuff back to what's going on now. I'd say more like DBS hype kind of stuff, which it's actually working, you know, not gonna lie. 14K, 6.9K, which 6.9K actually kind of is an outlier, but 67K. It's not bad, okay? It's not bad. Absolutely not bad. Do I agree with his content? No. Do I agree with his content choices? Absolutely not. However, I'm going to get into something that you didn't expect. I won't agree with you on certain things, like, let's say, for instance, this one video where it says Darkest Secret and it's Dr. Arnsu with big old chunkers. And then when you press the video, it talks about who is Rimus in Dragon Ball Daima. But in the video right here that I'm about to show you, it opens up with what if Broly was Goku Black?
The more I think about it now,
if Goku Black was actually able to steal Broly's body instead of Goku, I think he had a really short kind of sounds like Primus, but
I don't know. So now it kind of makes sense that
he's the god of creation and Zeno is the god of destruction.
by the way.
Pick a side, main. After the video I just showed you, it goes right back to Rimus. But that was still a crazy opening. And he does this multiple times. It'll be one of these, like, very suggestive thumbnails. And then it'll be like, what if you were Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball? And it's like, what? You just showed me Android 18. Body galore. What did that have to do with being a Super Saiyan? It don't. It really don't. However, like I said, I do not agree with these. However, here's a thing that you wouldn't expect me to say. Now. I don't want to sound like I'm glazing, even though I probably am. But I genuinely had a full-on talk with Ebullience. Will it be a video? No. We didn't have an actual audible interview, which I wish we did. You know what? I wish we did. Because that would have just been another video. And another thing that people would like to watch. Hearing him voice to voice. Hearing what he has to say about certain things. But we did still get information. And I'm going to be dead honest when I say he is actually a really chill guy behind the scenes. He is actually not a bad guy behind the scenes. I expected to have the backlash that Dandelion and Bardock gave me For the context of that, when I made the Dandelion and Bardock video, somebody in my Discord server, I do not agree with his actions, sent the video into their server. Now, mind you, I do agree, no, you shouldn't have done that. But what Dandelion and Bardock's decision was after that was basically was to disrespect me in the video in their like Discord channel, even though they made it very, very apparent that they did not watch the video, and then disrespect the dude who sent the video, which like I said, you can get onto him, but like straight up dissing him, being like, oh well, this and that, you're disgusting for doing that. You didn't need to say that. And then I joined in not to only get to see what his opinion on the video was, because mind you, it was just a rant, it wasn't actually an expose, but also to defend myself, because I'm sitting here watching my name get dragged through the rug in his channel just for nothing. And then I join in, and I have a 10-minute timer, and with 6:20 of that minute, I'm banned. I was censored, and I wasn't even able to talk. It was a wrongful ban. I currently agree with that. I agree with what I said. It was a wrongful ban. I shouldn't have been banned. However, things are going to happen. But on other news, Ebullience is actually not a bad guy. When I was talking to him through Discord, he was actually very not just welcoming, but also chill odd dude. I asked him a question. It was a whole on like text conversation of back and forth, and he was actually super chill about everything. Didn't get defensive about anything. Well, not to my knowledge. There could have been something he got defensive about, but when I saw it, I'm like, oh, well, this is just a normal answer. Gave me pretty reasonable answers, I'd say so myself. Wasn't really rude about anything. Just being dead honest, like you would expect out of a normal person. I wouldn't expect this out of any other person I talked about. I talked about Prince Vegeta, I talked about Bridge Goku, I talked about Dandelion and Bardock, and I got what I thought of with Dandelion and Bardock. I talked about Perfection, BlackScape, Lord Frieza. Every single person from those videos I would expect to just disrespect me. The most I would say to give me an actual conversation would be a Bridge Goku, and I don't feel like he would give me a conversation. Ebullience did just that. I talked to him. He was a nice guy. He was a chill guy. Like I said, do I not agree with his content? Absolutely. But did he also give me a full-on conversation without no arguments, no rudeness, just straight up facts, honesty, and kindness? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I commend him for that. I thank him for that. I straight up said at the end of the conversation, I said, that's all the questions I have for you. Not gonna lie, I was surprised on how normal this conversation was. The last time I tried to talk to a YouTuber about a video, I would ban their server before I could even message. Thank you for your time, your kindness, and being an overall understandable person. Have a great day. It was so not hard. The only hard thing about it was thinking of questions to ask. And not gonna lie, that was a surprising thing to do. Speaking of the questions I asked, let's get off of the glazing of Ebullience, and let's get into the questions I asked. Just so you know where we're coming from. I will have a picture of what I asked, and have a picture of what he's talking about if it needed. Okay? So, basically, we'd go back and forth. I asked him if I could ask him a couple questions. Fine, if he didn't want to hear the personal business. And he said it was perfectly fine. I said, first question, why are you so willing to help someone out with a video on your content? Basically, just the thought of this video, he was in the comment section, he was ready for the video, he was in my live stream asking for this. Basically, it was weird. It was just off-putting to me, you know? And that had to be the first question. It was just a personal thing for me to ask. And his response was, someone else made an exposed video on me, but he never actually tried to reach out while making it. So it was kind of full BS. Just wanted to get my side on it, that's all. And that's a respectable thing to do. Not gonna lie, I don't know how much of it BS it was. I did ask him, he did give me an answer. However, I did look back at it, and I can see where he's coming from. I can see where both are coming from, not gonna lie. And I'll explain that in a minute. But, it's good that at least he wants to reach out, unlike other people. Duh. Okay, makes sense. Next question. Why do you have the suggestive thumbnails on the things of like your shorts and your videos? Is it for views, or is it something differently entirely? His response? Views, bro. Honestly, I try to at least include a character or topic related to the video that's thumbnail, even though it's 100% Gooner Bay, lol. Now, mind you, I do not agree with some of that with the video I gave for context earlier. However, this is unreasonable answer. It's honest. It's full-on honesty, just for views. Do I not like it? Yeah. Is that my place to tell him what I do and do not like? No. Am I glad he was honest with me? Absolutely. Alright, next question is, what did the dude who made the other video get wrong? His response? Pretty much the whole part about me making these videos for my kid audience. Even though I clearly do not make my videos for children like I curse and shit. Now, I do want to say I can see where both are coming from. While yes, I do agree his content is not for kids. Big boobs on screen on the website can be very suggestive. Also, he does curse in his videos, so you could say this is not for a kid audience. However, I can understand where the other guy's coming from with the stuff that this is very flashy thumbnails, big wording, big captions. You could see how a kid can get obsessed with this. While yes, it wasn't his intention for it to be a kid audience, you can see how a kid can still get eyes glued to the screen. Yeah, I got you. Next question. The guy mentioned that you copy and pasted your fight animations. Is that true? His answer, I'm not sure what you're referring to that. By that, do you mean that I re-upload them? I said, yeah, I'm sorry, I worded it wrong. He said, I used to upload fight animation in parts, then later on in full videos. And yeah, I kind of overdid it a little. Sprite animation wasn't the best for revenue back in the past couple of years, lol. That makes perfect sense. Well, yes, there are a couple outliers, like 1 or 2 videos made a lot of views. Like there was one that was 860K. However, if you're only doing it for views, 9 times out of 10, you don't really care on what you do. And that makes sense. You can see that the sprite animation was becoming basically like one of those really important things that he would do, and he loved doing it. Basically like me doing any of my videos. I'll do it, not for a money grab, but to just do it to have fun. That's how his sprite videos were going. Except for he was playing, what we'll learn later, he was doing a dead-end job, and he couldn't keep up with the long-form videos, so he wanted to do it long-term. Tried out a couple things, shorts hit his way. Let's get into the next question. Oh, yeah, it makes sense. We're just way too specific of an audience. Next question. I think I already asked this during a live stream, but didn't get the full answer from chat because chat is being weird on PlayStation. Out of all the people I've talked about already, like Abridged Goku, Prince Vegeta, Perfection, BlackScape, Dandelion Bardock, and Lord Frieza, have you had any connection with them? His response? I have DM'd Prince Vegeta over a copyright issue a while back and legal advice. And I don't even know the rest of them except for BlackScape. I hate that MF. Now, mind you, I did hear about the Prince Vegeta issue. Not issue, but you know what I'm talking about when I say that he needed legal advice. Because I did hear about something. Now, I did not look really into it because it would really be a good idea for the video. But I did hear about it. That I think something got wrongly copyright struck in. Or DMCA takedown. And from what I see here, he basically reached out to Prince Vegeta for help on that issue. Which makes sense. I'm pretty sure Prince Vegeta have already dealt with that issue before. And he was just trying to get help from him. Mucho gracias, everybody. Editing Yonder here. As I'm smacking on the pretzel, I look up to see what Ebullience was talking about with the copyright issue and the legal issue. It was worse than the copyright, alright? I thought it was a copyright strike. I thought it was a false DMCA takedown. Nope. Here's a tweet that I'm going to show on screen. YouTube is allowing a cyber criminal that promotes doxing innocent people, distributing CP, to use a fake ID to falsely take down my channel. Crazy. I am sorry for what I got wrong. Gnarly. This is worse, okay? Anyways, yeah, that's all I'm adding. Just so we have more context. Yeah. Back to video. I am not arguing with it, even though I don't like Prince Vegeta. Do what you need to do to defeat, basically, the corrupt copyright system. Because that's a bad thing. And I do not like that. But we'll get into that in another video. Next question. Off topic, but why don't you like BlackScape? I don't like him either. I'm just wondering. His response? He is literally clickbait incarnate. Like, I don't know how he be stretching his videos over 8 minutes. Like, I know I make clickbait thumbnails, but at least I'm not bullshitting for 10 to 15 minutes. That is also very true. Clickbait content, but it is also short content. BlackScape is kind of on the bad side when it comes to things like long-form videos. Yeah, that's true. Next question. Why the sudden shift from sprite animations to what you make now? He said, I was working a BS job, didn't have the time to make them, and even when I posted them, the views I'd get in return weren't worth the effort anymore. So I started making TikToks, and then I turned into shorts, played around and figured out what works, and now I'm able to do it for full time. Basically what I explained earlier, how he was just messing around, trying to make it from having fun to full time, and then now he can do it full time. I suggest though, which I've seen him kind of do, now the fact that he does it full time and actually makes money off of it, he could kind of jump into both now. You can see where I'm coming at in a minute. Okay, next question. When it comes to the Patreon, are the comics made for you to use or no? If no, are you in collaboration with them like they let you use them or you're getting paid or something? Mind you, what I mean by this is on his Patreon, he has NSFW comics. I have not seen them. They are locked behind a blur wall. I have to pay to get to them. Thank you, God. But since I didn't see them, I did not know what was used and what's not used. So I didn't know if this was actual comics, like what Bridge Goku does, where it's just straight up comics, but he put his voice on them, basically stealing them, or it was basically his own comics. His response was, I made the comics. Okay, sorry for being late. I fell asleep, lol. Next question. If you could make either the shorts or the fighting videos, both would make equal amounts of money and equal amounts of views, what would you do? He said definitely the sprite video. I've been making them since 2011. Honestly, I'd probably make both if it were realistic, but if I had to choose one, it'd be the sprites. Basically saying that even though he likes doing the very suggestive content, I don't like saying Gooner. Someone said saying Gooner was kind of like cringy, and I guess I can agree with you on that one. I don't know. I really don't know. However, I do understand, and basically back to where backtracking to what I said before. Even though he did make the Gooner content, the very suggestive content, his child, his golden child, his basically bread and butter was the sprite content. And if he could make the amount of videos, if he could make the basically videos that have the same amount of views, it would be those videos, the sprite videos. He loves those videos, as you can tell from what I can see here. He loves those videos. It's basically like his child. But because of the fact that the revenue is an issue for him, he went into making the short form content, and that makes sense. Valid. Do you have any questions for me at all? And he said when is the video coming out? I gave him a time zone between Monday and Thursday. I'm sticking with it. Tuesday right now. Most likely the video coming out Wednesday. Final question. Are you subscribed? It was just a small little question for me. Showed me a picture straight up being subscribed. I said that's goated. Alrighty then. That's all the question I have for you. Not gonna lie, this was a normal conversation. Just how I was surprised how normal this conversation was. The last time I had tried to talk to a YouTuber about a video, I would ban their server before I could even message. Thank you for your time, for your kindness, and being an overall understandable person. Have a great day. He said, YouTube bro, just let me know when you upload it. I got you. Overall, this was more of a understandable video. I was walking into this being like, Ebullience, being one of these other Prince Vegeta fillers. And then I walk out of it being like, huh. For being one of the very suggestive guys, he has a very understandable thing. Very understandable problem. And basically just being a very understandable person. Explaining things to how I need them explained. I didn't have to ask, what do you mean by that? one time. I just needed to elaborate on the BlackScape question because that was genuinely my own curiosity. So on top of that, just being a very relatable person, plus the fact that he looks at this as now as a job, so basically you can understand where he's coming from. Like I said, yes, do I agree with him? Absolutely not. The Gooner content, I feel like needs to go across the board. It's YouTube, kids are always going to be on this app. However, you can very much see where he's coming from with this. Now for Ebullience, if I'm going to be completely frank, it's just going to be BlackScape's update segment, except for Ebullience. Ebullience, he never really left the goon space. Like, at least BlackScape didn't make any, like, from what I've seen, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but, I haven't seen any big titties shown on BlackScape's videos. It's just a bunch of AI nonsense, and he's trying to call it art and shit, and use it as thumbnails, or just throughout the video. Ebullience, I'm gonna call it what it is right now. Ebullience is a fucking clip farm. He is a genuine content farm. No matter how much you want to spin the guy. That dude is nothing but a fucking YouTube Shorts loser. He gets no views on TikTok. It's only really YouTube where he gets his views. And it's all a bunch of big titty dumbass shit. I hate using a bunch of curse words like I'm a fucking toddler, but that's exactly how it sounds. He just, oh, let me throw up some big old biddies and then see if a little boy's gonna press on him. And then tried to claim that his content isn't for kids. Bullshit. Yeah, I was negligent once, and now I'm not, and now I know that you're a sack of shit, dude. That's a bunch of nothing that you just tried to spout to me. That's exactly what he tried to spout to me. He's like, oh, well, my content isn't actually for kids. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it literally is. I'm sorry. You're making bright thumbnails with flashy text and big colorful things, and you're like, this is not for kids, when you see Mr. Beast do the same shit. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but if you're using Mr. Beast's content style, you're probably a little kid's channel. But then he's showing, like, whole bonkers, holy gazonkers, all up in my face. What the hell is going on? And obviously, right, I'm not a big fan of sexualization, but that's just a me personally thing. Like, I love love. And I love what love can do to somebody. I don't love the fact that people objectify women all the fucking time and use this to just get views and money. That's the bad part. The also bad part is even if you're not making the content for the kids will still see it. So you are letting little boys, little girls, see objectifying women as okay because you did it once. And he's like, oh, well, if a YouTuber did it, then I can do it. Really? Really? And on top of that, he's just using AI just to fill his fucking content farm of a nothing channel. It's so bad. It's really so bad. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love that you stayed almost for a couple hours watching a Yonder video, if you did so. I love that for you, and I love that for me. Anyways, make sure you join the Discord, like and subscribe, comment on the video. You could comment the letter purple. I wouldn't care. I would say follow the Twitch, but I haven't really been streaming on there or anything at all. Subscribe to the second channel. I would say that. And yeah, have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you guys Christmas time. Peace.